Hey there, I'm back. So last time I told a story, but this time I'm right here at the stories. Such a well-lit place, so breezy, vast. આમ ઘર તો ઘર જ હોય, but this is something amazing. Look away, look up, look anywhere around. Dream home is just an understatement. And I think it was meant to be like that. હવે આટલું બધું જોઈ જ લીધું છે, તો now it's the time to meet the maestro himself. So here he is, the man behind the magnum opus. A very warm welcome, Hiren bhai.
Thank you, Parth. Thank you so much.
Sir, you have been associated with this project right from the very beginning.
Yeah,
Please share us, enlighten us
right.
with some beautiful details
Okay.
Related to the magic you have created.
Yeah, thank you so much for a kind word first. When the project comes to an architect, I have learned that it's a collaborative work. And when you have the proper wavelength match to your client, you can come to the next level of project. And especially for in real estate, when you have beautiful tuning among the client and architect, entire journey become wonderful. So for me, this project is more like an emotions because I know the client so well. I have designed their home. I have designed their daughter's wedding destinations. So he was like a brother to me. And so we know the family so well. We know their liking. They are well-traveled people, well-educated people. And it was like a first project they wanted to launch into the Adani Santigram. It was an opportunity. And they say it's facing golf course. I can start thinking of that if I'm going vertical. And it was one of the first project happening at Adani Santigram.
પણ હિરેનભાઈ હવે હું જ્યારથી અહીંયા આવ્યો છું ને ત્યારથી I feel that I'm in a bungalow. સરસ હાઈટ છે, પણ as if I'm nearing to the sky and I'm having the feeling of a bungalow. હવે બંગલો તો બહુ કીધું, પણ ઘર, આ સુંદર ઘર, home. How have you planned the architecture behind this home?
Right. Okay. So Parth, like as I say about the entire project, and if you see the common facility below 2 floors, we are loaded like everything. It's like you have swimming pool, your kids cabana, they can climb up and tree house kind of feeling. We have home theater, you name the things and the kind of the concierge service we want to give later on. So it's experience. It's the experience of living in a wonderful community. But આપણે ગુજરાતીમાં કહીએ મારું ઘર કેવું, that's what it is. That makes a sense. So when we create this, we say West Tower duplex. It's like duplex. So it's a 2-story bungalow. Now we have taken those bungalow in the sky. So as you say very rightly, that you are floating in the sky, but you have your own bungalow. I mean, that's like મારા રૂમવાળા ઊભા થઈ જાય છે, no? Like this is a dream for this. And then especially it's facing the golf course. It's wonderful. Yeah. So again, when you are trying to work, you have to think is a perspective કે અને એ ક્લાયન્ટ કોણ છે મને ખબર નથી. અમે તો બિલ્ડર્સ માટે બાંધી રહ્યા છે, પણ છેલ્લો end users should give us a blessings. And so that's a prayer to the God. For me, it's a work is worship. So you have to think કે એ લોકોને શું જોઈતું હશે અને what are the things we can give upon. So obviously that flexibility of planning is important. અને આજના ટાઈમમાં મારા જ ઘરે મારો સન ભણીને પાછો આવી ગયો છે યુએસથી. હજુ અમારા સ્ટોર રૂમમાં જે શૂઝ કાઢવા જાઉં છું ને તે 5મા ધોરણમાં સ્કેટિંગના શૂઝ હતા હજુ પડ્યા છે. That means we have emotional attachment of storing so many things. So we realize that beautiful space is required, beautiful home is required, but lots of understanding about the storing capacity. So dresses are very important nowadays. We are flourishing. Everybody, now things are so much available. Habit of buying online. So we have to see that eventually house will not become cluttered. So there has to be proper planning. So that's what we have. We created the bedrooms where you sleep, you take your shower, has to be an experience. So all bathrooms are beautifully designed. They become project by itself. Every bathroom with the detail and everything, and then doing so many number of this. See, again client will say कि भी simple बनाओ ने भाई आ तो फटाफट एक घर नहीं बनाता आपने तो we are making so many things. So But still we thought that we engineering in a way that it looks so personalized to everybody, and it is where I always say bathrooms are so important at our HPA. કે ત્યારે તમે regeneration, you are regenerating yourself, ત્યારે you are with yourself, ત્યારે જ વાઇફથી આવે પણ છો તો તમને શાંતિ છે નો.
New perspective. Yes, we-
So bathrooms are very important. So we really create a nice thing, and then storage become, and then eventually larger than the life size of the sizes. So client understand, they live in a lovely, their home is so beautiful, so they understand. We don't have to really fight about. So what we have the rooms, they are really large. You don't notice such kind of spaces into the apartment project, and that's why you said कि bungalow लागे છે कि मकान, it's a villa in sky, because the spaces are bigger. So that's what we have planned. Again, we have lots of flexibility, so we kept the kitchen open, so you have the relation of this thing, but you can always create the interior screening if you want to, privacy or something like that, but the space are multiple. Obviously the view was the most important part. Everything has been facing towards the Gulf view, master bedrooms and other bedrooms and your living spaces, because master bedroom માં તમે સુવા માટે જવાનો છો, but eventually more of the things you will leave the living space in the formal living, so it is facing. And second, હવે બંગલો છે અને સ્કાયમાં લાવ્યા છે, તો what are you missing is your relation with the garden. So again, it's very difficult. See, it's like a lot of discussing, thinking, understanding. હવે હું બાલ્કની એક રૂમ જેટલી આપી દઉં તો ક્લાયન્ટ એવું કહે કે સર આપણે 5 બેડરૂમ કે 4 બેડરૂમ કે 6 બેડરૂમ કરી દો ને, because people look for number.
Yeah.
But here the client understands and they realize the potentiality of the big terraces, big balcony. So हमारे यहाँ it's almost like a room size ની balcony છે. And there you can create your own garden. You can create your own little garden, I would say. It's not just a little smoking balcony to go out, but no. And then last but not least is the powder room. We say powder room, not powder toilet, because that's your statement. That reflects your personality. So हमें top of the line बनाવ્યું છે our powder room, because guests will come there. They are not going to see your tub or whatever XYZ rain shower, but they are going to use the loo or the guest bar things. So that those are the emotional things about it. Like घर is, it's not a factory. It's a business model, but as a designer, you have to think you are playing with somebody's emotions, and you cannot take it for granted. And once you do that thing, what you get is the blessings, and that's what we are looking for.
And when you're talking about emotions, so Hiren, I would want to ask કે આ ઘરનું interiors એ કોઈ specific style નું છે કે how do you define the interiors of this particular home?
Right. So when you talk about interior, now what happens? These are the emotions. You have to showcase that, right? So there is a need of creating a show apartment, we say, that people can understand in terms of everything. See, space સરસ લાગે, પણ તમે એપાર્ટમેન્ટ બનાવો તો then the house lady can understand કે મારા માટે કિચનમાં કેટલી સ્પેસ છે, મારું યુટિલિટી સ્પેસ કેટલી ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ છે, મારો મેડ્સ કે કોઈ આવતા હોય તો રોકાતા હોય તો ઘરમાં નાનું બાળક છે તો મેડ્સ રહેતી હોય તો એના માટે કેટલી ફ્રીડમ મળે છે, પ્રાઇવસી મળે છે, because they are all humans. And the same way about the living space, your wardrobe space, your bathroom space. So you need to create a show apartment. Correct. So that's how we as we say, we are sitting in the West Tower, which is a duplex, and we created a interior. तो हमें पहलो concept ये करो कि lux level तो लागू જ પડશે, because project is that.
Right.
So it has to look functional,
Right.
little lux, but not overdone. Because I have to see anybody should come, he should feel the space. પછી એ તો એમના બજેટથી કરવાના જ છે, એટલે એવી ફિલિંગ નથી લાવી કે આ ઇન્ટિરિયર કર્યું છે એટલે ઘર સરસ લાગે છે, પણ આ સ્પેસ સરસ છે. એટલે વી વેરી કોન્શિયસ નોટ ટુ ઓવરડુ, બટ એટ ધ સેમ ટાઈમ સેન્સ ઓફ લક્ઝરી તો આવી જ જોઈએ. એટલે વી હેવ લવલી મટીરિયલ પેલેટ. વુડ ઇઝ અ ગુડ મટીરિયલ, યુ ઓલવેઝ લવ ઇટ. એન્ટાયર પ્રોજેક્ટમાં અમારે ફિક્સ હોય જે મૂવ ના થવું જોઈએ, વિચ ઇઝ ફ્લોરિંગ અને વિચ ઇઝ બાથરૂમ. So there was challenge for us for both this tower and other tower, because we have given a lovely marble, which is expensive and nice marble. Bathrooms are beautiful, so when people come, they can do the interiors. But आज civil related નું કામ ની તોડફોડ ના થવી જોઈએ. Otherwise, the project gets delayed. There are lots of problems later on. So we were very clear that people should love the whole thing. So that's like very contemporary, I would say. that any kind of interior will happen, the flooring and the bathroom will gel with that. If I want to decorative things, I want very minimalistic. There are terms like Japanese way of designing it, so that's a very minimal thing. So this grey palette flows well because it also has to reflect with the architecture outside, which is a grey tone. So that's how the grey flooring has come. So there are lots of churning out. I would say that we would have some pictures of our entire boardroom was full with the material things and choosing. And I mean, see, it's good to know people that સારું એટલે બને છે કારણ કે બહુ જ મહેનત કરી છે બધાએ તો એ દેખાતી નથી. You see end product, but there are lots of churning out there. So I would say for this interior, little luxe level, very contemporary, so it will appeal to everyone, but trying to reflect the more of space rather than furniture itself speaks too much. So that's the idea, I would say.
So Hiren bhai, can you share some unique points about this creation?
Yeah, okay. So parts, especially when you make the high-rise building, it's like you are creating a like community in vertical living, and there are a lot more changes because density is more. Lots of people are going to come, and we have been also working with lots of private houses, so we know the emotions of the people. And when you design the thing, it has to bring a lot of flexibility because people can do whatever the way they want to do it. So what you create is a beautiful space. So that was we were very clear that it has to be very functional, very practical, easy in terms of the changing their inner spaces in terms of the decor. So that was the first criteria. See, Ahmedabad, people look at Ahmedabad in a very different way. It is called a mecca of architecture. And when you especially you design, we become a little accountable, no? Because people are looking at you. There's a little inner pressure. And especially when you're doing beautiful private houses across the country, people will see how we are going to do the same application of beautiful architecture in high-rise living. And Ahmedabad is known for its material palette, which is exposed concrete, exposed brickwork. I would say the Louis Kahn and Corbusier came because of the very visionary people of Ahmedabad. They were all milliners, and we want to carry that legacy. So we thought when we design, let's create building with partly exposed concrete. Why? Because by default the contractor has to make a beautiful workmanship because you can't correct it out. You have to do right work. So the entire approach will become beautiful, and that's very essential because when you start making the building, પહેલા 3 માસ સરસ કામ થાય, પછી કોન્ટ્રાક્ટર કે ઉપરનું કરી કાઢે, then you know quality deteriorates because nobody looks it. But if you expose concrete work, you have to be consistently till the water tank, I would say. So that was the hidden agenda. It creates beautiful architecture, but workmanship will automatically come beautiful. So that was the thing. So we came with the 2 individual towers, East Tower and West Tower. So suddenly your periphery of the building become double up. So what you get? Beautiful light, beautiful wind, and when you are in Tantigram, everywhere is openness. I mean, we know this instead of 1 block, 2 block is going to create magic because of the views. Any part of even जो काम करने बाई आवश्यक है, इन्हें पर मजा पड़ी जैसे because while washing the utensils and utilities, is one of the finest view which we are dying in the city of Ahmedabad. Yes, that's what it is. So that's the unique thing. Creating instead of 1 block, we created 2 blocks. So it's become individual floor plate for every apartment, and it's almost like a vertical bungalow. You have your bungalow and you are in community, but you have your own beautiful privacy right from your lift well. So that's what we have been doing. So that's a unique concept, and people love that.
The serene ambience and his honesty in the creation has created this beautiful piece all the more beautiful. So nowadays, Hiren bhai, there is a requirement that one has to go with a sustainable way of living.
Right.
Then how have you incorporated that phenomenon in this creation?
See, we Indians are actually very sensitive in terms of living, using less materials, palette, and giving respect to the Mother Nature. That's how we have been living. See, density-wise, if you see, even our old pole houses, they were dense. But then you have a little courtyard, and you get the light, and you are the last person to switch on your electricity. So you have lots of even the tight compact community. We have the wisdom. Now, sustainable way of rating, LEED certificate, they are all Western concept. I respect them. But it is in our culture already. So we have to ignite that again. It's a very nice thing to have that reality check, I would say, because we are building so much. We are fastly growing country, and if you not check, we can do not justice to our mother nature. So it's good to have. So clients were very clear that we'll go with IGBC rating, and IGBC rating is that how you use the electricity, what material you use, you're not importing too much of the things and kind of things. So ultimately, everywhere you double check that you don't put more carbon footprint on the planet and you use less resources. So again, the design which we have, you will see that this apartment would require least number of artificial light even late of the evening, because we have all periphery separate. So that's the one. Second, how if you are living vertical with openness, you don't need AC to switch on much because you have good cross ventilation. So we have lovely cross ventilation. Every room, if you try to see that, we try to create a cross ventilation. And even it's a home. I mean, I can leave my kid's bedroom open, and if his window is open and if my living room space is open, it will be a draft of such a lovely thing. You in morning you don't need to even switch on the ACs. So these are the aspects we are doing, which is I would say this is very good, because it's like putting a seed in you, your client, and your end users. So we keep talking, and then people understand that value, and that we have to cultivate the culture. So it's not about getting certificate, but talking about it, and we realize that wow, I mean, we feel happy, like. So now the bathrooms are beautiful. You can see, I mean, it's so lovely. It reflects the personality of the people, but at the same time, you know that the faucets are such that you are not using extra water. The taps are such that it has aerated water coming, so you get the water, but it's not too much. So that's how small thing has been taken care of.
So Hiren bhai, if there is one phrase for this beautiful home, what that would be?
Yeah, that's the tough questions because there are so many beautiful things on this thing. But yes, when you say it clicks me that I would say that it's living with a view at heights.
Wow, living with a view at heights. Amazing.